Hey guys, now you can follow me on Facebook. Just go to facebook.com/UltraMaximusReviews.
Hey look, it's Broadside. Do yousa got a fat assa? Well then, that was anticlimactic. Well, slap me and call me Jar Jar Binks. Guess I was wrong.
Cybertron Weekly is your central hub for everything Transformers.
Hello YouTube, Ultra Maximus back with another toy review, and today we're taking a look at another Transformers Titans Return figure, and it's Blunderbuss. Blunderbuss? Yeah, Blunderbuss and Broadside. And I was really shocked to see this. I found it at my local Walmart. I stopped in to get some canvas to paint on, and this was the only new figure they had. So I'm like, ooh, I got to get me a Broadside. I loved the old G1 Broadside triple changer toy. It was one of my favorites as a kid, and I was excited to hear that we were going to get a new one. So I've got some sketchy thoughts about it from looking at a few other reviews and just kind of looking at the pictures, but I guess we'll have to check it out. So let's go ahead and take a look at the packaging. So here we have Broadside in package, and it's very similar to everything else we've been getting. The paper on this one, again, feels kind of cheap. It reminded me of the Skylinks box. That one felt really, really cheap. Some of these do, and some of them don't, and this one definitely does. It says Transformers Generation. It says, hey, it's a triple changer. We get a Blunderbuss blasting off right there. Of course, there is Broadside. We get a Decepticon logo at the top, and Decepticon logo there, as this entire wave is. We get some artwork here with Broadside looking kind of cool, so just kind of a close-up. Yeah, so he is a triple changer. It is in the Generations line, Transformers. And then, of course, here's the artwork. Looks kind of interesting. And then Titans Return, Broadside. And then here's the artwork on the side. Same as the other. And then, of course, you know, your Decepticon logo. So, yeah, here is the back of the packaging. Back of the box, very similar to what we've seen, again, in this entire wave of figures. We get the Headmaster gimmick, which is kind of cool. We get Autobot Shuffler right there. He looks very Decepticon-y to me. We get Perceptor. I cannot wait to get that guy. Megatron, I'm probably going to skip. He just, I don't know. He doesn't really look too interesting to me. And then we get Sky Shadow, which I will wait for the Overlord Redux. And then, yeah, so there he is, robot mode, aircraft carrier mode, looking cool. There's the little robot dude, the head turns into the robot, and then he's got his jet, and then there is a little brief bio. So just kind of a close-up, as we always do. There is the gimmick, and then here are the other figures in the wave. And then the bio, if, let me get this a little closer. If you want to pause and read that, you're more than welcome to. And then, of course, he transforms into things. Yes, it's pretty fun. So let's go ahead and get Broadside out of package and see what we think. So here we have Broadside out of package, and I gotta say, after messing around with this guy a few times, there are things I like, things I don't like, right? It's a pretty obvious statement. I love the look of the robot mode. I like the aircraft carrier mode. However, there are some kind of loosey-goosey joints. Of course, it doesn't shake when I pick it up, but this left leg is a little loose. The feet feel like they're a little loose. The head feels kind of loose up here, and when it's in the aircraft carrier mode, there's some parts that I don't like. The jet mode, ooh, that's a mishap. We'll talk about that when we get there. So he does come with a couple things. He's got his little card, which is very cool. And then he's got the stats, which the stats are ridiculous. He's way underpowered. I mean, he is a massive, massive robot, and you got the parrot squawking in the background there. He should be up here, at least in strength. He's an aircraft carrier, for goodness sake. Now, the other thing that's really cool about this guy, he comes with little jets to put on the aircraft carrier. They're actually the jet modes for the aerial bots from Combiner Wars, which is very cool. I do dig that. There are little peg holes on the bottom, and then you can plug those onto little pegs that are on the aircraft carrier in jet mode if you wanted to. And they are white. They're all white, and at first I was like, I didn't like that. But going onto the aircraft carrier mode, they should stick out pretty well on that gray. But the other nice thing is, if you wanted to, you could paint them to make them look like the aerial bots. Alright, so as far as articulation and play gimmicks on this guy, he's a pretty standard Voyager class figure. His arms rotate up like that at the shoulder there, and then they do come out about right there. He does have an elbow joint. There's a mushroom peg right there, so he can twist. So you get some movement there. He does have hinges at the wrist, but again, that's for transformation as usual. He has nothing at the waist. His head can spin around. You push this little button right here. He gets these little pylon things, which are kind of oddly shaped to me, and I think he looks better without them. It reminds me more of the old G1 toy without them, which is, there's a few of these like that. I'm not really sure what the pylons on the necks are for. It's just a thing with this line, I guess. His leg kicks up that far. It does get hampered because there is a peg right there. The ball joints do allow it to go out pretty good distance. He's got a single jointed knee, and then there is a little bit of ankle articulation, but again, for transformation. Now, you can also, this gun, let me take this out of his hand. So, get back there, buddy. So here's his weapon. It's interesting. It's a very pretty crystal blue, which is weird, I guess, for the ocean, for the water, right? So your headmaster guy, pop him off real quick. So he can transform, and there is whatever this guy's name, I can't even remember his name, Blunderbuss or something, I don't know what his name is, but he can ride in the gun like that, dun 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 dun, and there are multiple ports that you can plug this gun into, which is very cool. I do dig that. So you can do that. The funny thing is, he's got a port right here on his crotch, and this is where you put the gun for the jet mode. And I noticed, look how large this piece is back here, because if they made it like a regular port, somebody somewhere was paying attention, because if they did that, it would have plugged in like that. Somebody would have done it, and that would have happened. But they did not, and that's okay. Probably for the better anyway. Now, as far as these leg bits down here, the instructions show you to pose them like that. However, the back of the box has them like this, which is kind of weird. I think I prefer the instructions a little bit better. I think that looks a little bit better, and that's the way I'm going to do it, so yeah, is what it is. Alright, so I'm going to put his little head back onto the body here. Alright. Dun 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 dun. Bum bum. Now for comparison, here we have Broadside next to the Hot Rod from Titan's Return. Of course, this is a deluxe figure versus a Voyager, and the Voyager's not much bigger than the deluxes anymore, guys. This is really kind of becoming the new deluxe to me. He just should be a little bit bigger, but he's definitely pretty cool looking. In comparison, I don't know. I've always liked Broadside from the old show, but he is a headmaster, so let's swap out the heads and see how they look on each other. So let's put Broadside's head on Hot Rod, and then we'll put Hot Rod's head on Broadside, and what do we think? That looks weird. That absolutely looks weird. I think Hot Rod's head goes a little bit better on Broadside than the reverse. So here's a look at Hot Rod. Get it? Hot Rod? Yeah. That just looks goofy. Maybe a Stunticon? I don't know. They're kind of weird. But that works. Yeah, that's not too bad. That looks Autobot-y. I definitely prefer that over over that one. Definitely pretty fun. Freddy Pun. Freddy Pun! It's Freddy Pun! But yeah, so again, I think that the sizes are getting strange in the fact that they're just getting smaller and smaller. I mean, we've had this problem for a while now, and it will probably continue to do so. Of course, costs, manufacturing, and all that kind of jazz. Now, Broadside is, of course, a triple changer. That means he's got two alternate modes. One is an aircraft carrier, which for the most part I like. There are a few minor gripes I've got about it. And then the other alternate mode is a jet, which... yeah, I've got issues with it. I think the original G1 toy did this triple change thing way better than this guy did. And I don't know. I really like that old figure. I think I might have to go find one. But yeah, so it is what it is. So let's go ahead and take a look at the aircraft carrier mode and see what we think. So here we have Broadside in his aircraft carrier mode. I'm going to bring the little guy out right here. And for the most part, I like this mode. I like this alternate mode a lot better than I do the jet mode. There are issues I have with it. As you saw, the hips and legs in this transformation are real floppy until you get them into place. And the other thing is the front of the carrier. There's nothing that clicks it together, which is very unfortunate, but it looks cool. I like how he's number 36. I like the glossy stickers. The runway looks really nice. And you get all these little ports to put your aerial bots on. There are two up here, two here, a couple right here, one on the landing strip, and the other one back here. Definitely pretty cool. I like how it's got the little number 36 back here as well. I mean, they did a good job with that. I do appreciate that. That is very cool. The other thing is these pieces don't stick down very well. And remember, you want to get these clamped onto the undercarriage of the flight deck right there. Now, you're supposed to flip these pieces out, and then he's got these little, like, landing gear bits. If I can do this on camera here. There it is. So you get these little landing gear bits like this, and it's supposed to raise it up a little. But the problem is these landing gear pylons don't work very well. They don't straighten out very nicely. And yeah, so that's the way it's supposed to go, but it kind of looks like it has legs. I don't care for that. So, I mean, I really just push that down, push these in, and set it down as such. I think that looks a lot better. It looks more boat-like. Now, if you want to, you can take your little weapon piece here. There's a port right there that you could plug that into. There's a port right there you can plug it into. There's a port on the side you can plug it into. And then, of course, you can mount your little headmaster guy in there. However, the cool thing about this mode is you can actually take, and I love the crow's nest up here. That looks really, really nice. But you can take this piece right here and flip it back like that. Flip that forward. And now we've got a little place where this guy can stand in the control deck here. And yes, yes, I like that. I think that is a lot of fun. So then you can take this weapon, mount it somewhere else, and then have another headmaster utilize that. So I think that's a pretty fun little play gimmick. Definitely pretty cool. But overall, I do like the look of this. I just wish, to be honest, if they could get this piece to clamp together better, I would have been 110% perfectly happy with this carrier mode. And then you've got the jet mode. So let's go ahead and take a look at the jet mode and see what we really think. And here we have Broadside in his jet mode. I find it weird that the aircraft carrier has landing gear and the jet mode doesn't. Very weird, very strange. And I gotta say, the front half of the jet looks pretty good. Very Starscream looking. It's this what the hell is going on back half. That I don't know what's going on with it there. It just looks very, very strange to me. Yeah, and it just doesn't clamp or go into place on anything. I don't know. But I do like the nose cone. I do like the canopy. You can, of course, open this up, and then you can put your little guy inside. He can fly around in like that. So that is pretty cool. And then, of course, you can mount the gun weapon up here. And, yeah, I don't know. It's not a very good mode. I'm not thrilled with it. The other fun thing I guess you could do is you can lift this up here if you want to get a little extra radar thing or something. Maybe it's a space plane. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. This is very kind of, it is what it is. Definitely the weakest of the three modes for sure. And on my display case, it's probably going to sit in aircraft carrier mode. So taking a closer look at the figure itself, I really love the head sculpt. I like the little faux cockpit there, the Autobot logo. I like the missile launchers on his shoulders. I think that looks really, really cool. Now, I folded the wings up in this mode to kind of go into the backpack because they were kind of getting in the way of the arms, and I think it just looks better. It looks a little cleaner in the robot mode because I don't really recall him having the wings out like that in the old toy, but who knows. But definitely pretty cool. I like the paint scheme. Like I said, I think that the head sculpt looks really nice, and I prefer that the pylons on his shoulders be down and have his head out and about like that. I just think it looks better. So taking a look at the midsection of the figure, the back has the nose cone kind of hanging down there. The nose cone on the jet really kind of reminds me of Skyfire. Maybe we'll get a Skyfire repaint out of this guy. But the arms are pretty decent. He's got these kind of almost hook-like hands, or hook pieces on his hands, which is interesting. The translucent gun, I don't know. The big red cod piece looks pretty decent, I guess. Lots of tones of gray and red on here. The dark gray, light grays all look pretty cool. So, yeah, I can dig that section of the figure. So taking a look at the legs of the figure, I do like how the legs are solid. There is not a lot of hollow parts to this figure, which is cool. It stands pretty well. I'm shockingly, from the weirdness of the joints on the hips and the feet, the sides of the legs are kind of interesting because they're flight decks. I really like the wings folded that particular way. The translucent blue on the silver wings, I do like that. I think that looks pretty cool. The grays and the translucent blues and the silver stickers all break up that red, which is nice. For the most part, I think they did a good job with the legs. In that carrier mode, man, the feet, there need to be pegs on the feet to clamp them secure. And, that would have made me so much happier with this toy. So, is Broadside a figure that you want in your Transformers collection? If you're a Broadside fan, you're definitely going to like this figure, I think. If you had the old G1 toy, you're definitely going to dig it. I'm just going to pop his little pieces out there so we can see him in his gloriousness. Those pylons on his shoulders look really weird because they're angled back. I don't know if they're supposed to be like little missile launchers or something. They had more paint detail. I think that would have been a little cooler. I presume we're getting a Quake Wave retool out of this. The Decepticon, if they don't, they're silly. I think that'd be a lot of fun. If you know for sure, leave a comment down below. To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if we get a Jetfire resculpt out of this. The nose cone looks so Jetfire to me. The jet looks more like that than it did the old Broadside jet. But overall, it's not a bad figure, but it's not a great figure. The figure feels rushed to me. It needs some more parts to clamp down in the front of the aircraft carrier mode. I think that it needs more parts to clamp together in the jet mode, and the back of the jet mode just looks silly, crazy, dumb. Front of it looks really good. Is it worth $25? Sure. It's probably worth more $10 to me. 15 would have been a great buy. This is not something I would overspend for sure on. I was glad to find it at retail. If you can and you're looking for this figure, definitely don't pay more than retail. It's not worth it. So maybe the Takara version will be a little bit better. I don't know. But definitely a fun piece. If you're looking for an aircraft carrier transformer, there he is. So there he is from Titan's Return. It's Broadside.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you like this video, thumbs it up. If you hate this video, thumbs it down. To watch more Ultra Maximus, click on the links to the right. Don't forget to subscribe and share, like us on Facebook, and look for more videos in the future.